Hey YouTube, this is Go from the Friday Night Shooters. How are you guys? I hope you're all really well. Well, this is iRacing. I've started playing it recently and I am very much hooked on it, really enjoying it. So this video is going to be a longer video today. It's going to involve the whole race, an entire race, and I'm also adding highlights or action replays of some of the better sequences of the race. Any bits where the race gets a little bit quiet, I'll do a little bit of talking over. For the first lap, I'm going to go quiet actually. I'm just going to let you, you can listen to the engine revs and you can just kind of get absorbed in the atmosphere. It's a very atmospheric game in its own way. It feels always like a real race. So I think I start third on the grid. Here are the lights coming up now. They go red and then they go green and then it's go. My starts are never very good, as we'll have a look at. But I'll let you watch the first lap and then I'll come back in. Alright, as you can see, I lost a couple of places on the start. I think I dropped back to about 5th, but I'm not too anxious about that. I've had to change my approach. I'm new to iRacing, very new to iRacing. Before that, the game I played most in terms of car racing, oh, there's a spinner, we'll have a look at that in a while. The game I played more than any in terms of car racing recently in the last few years was Forza 4, and before that I used to play Gran Turismo on the old PlayStation 2 a long time ago. So I've had to change my style. You have to be a lot more cautious. You can't be gung-ho in this. It'll just end in trouble. So what I've done basically is I'm going to show you that start from a number of different angles and try and explain my logic. Now, it's worth bearing in mind that this is about my third or fourth race on this track, and in the previous two races, the first corner was carnage. There was just crashes everywhere. I might show that in a later video. But first of all, we'll go to sort of the TV camera view. This is the TV camera view. Now my car is in the dead center of the picture, with the little bit of wheel spin. It's green at the front, light green in the middle, and orange at the back, or amber. So you can see I don't get as good a start. I'm using a Logitech G27. I'm using the pedals and I'm using the paddle shifter as an auto clutch with auto blip. So perhaps those people getting a better start are either just matching their routes better. Now you can see I'm quite cautious around the outside, and I let other people past. As I said, that was due to previous races where I was a little bit more aggressive. Now I think I'm too cautious. In fact, I know I'm too cautious. As we'll see, the next angle I'm going to show you is the blimp. Right, this is the sort of like above the view, and this is I like this next view for road position. So I'm kind of a little bit trapped behind the tree there, but you'll still see me. I'm just there. I go, a little puff of tire smoke. That's me. So I've definitely got too much revs. I've too much wheel spin for whatever reason. But I was glad the guy on my right in the dark car, I managed to stick with him. My plan was to give way to him. He's got the corner, but I did not intend on letting anyone behind me through. But they do, because I'm too cautious on the outside there, because within the car view, which is the only view I have, I couldn't see properly what was going on. But it's interesting. Look at the next corner coming up. See the way it's an opening radius, right? It's very tight and then it opens. It's a tricky corner, as you'll see later on in the race. It's a great corner. I enjoy it, but it's hard to get it perfect and come out at top speed. Now the next view is the rear chase view, so you can see better. That's me in the car. Look at me, I look like a stick. I don't drive like him. So blue car on the left, number 8, gets a much better start. I can see him when I'm driving quite easily. I know he's there. I say, right, he's going to have the corner. What I should have done was tucked in behind him. I should have braked a little earlier, tucked in behind him, and claimed the inside line. But because I stayed out, I opened the door. In fact, those two guys would have gotten through probably as well, or at least one of them, if they hadn't made contact themselves. And this is the tight and radius corner now, starting now. So it starts off really tight and then opens. My line is poor there. I could have got that lap fast, but it was the first lap, so I was just concentrating on not crashing. And this is the final replay coming up of the first corner. And this is actually looking from the back of an opponent's car. So you can see this impact between these two guys. There's me on the outside. So it's the guy who it kind of jumped a position on me at the start. Now, at the end of this replay, I'm going to jump back across the live race. So the race is running in the background while I'm showing these replays. It's just there's not a whole lot happening. It's just me holding position, so it's not really that interesting for you to watch. That's why I'm adding the replays in where possible. Now, if you excuse me, I need to cough. Pardon me, I am loaded with a chesty cough. So I'm doing my very best not to cough down the mic at you guys. So, with iRacing, I'm getting gradually better. First of all, I'm keeping my race pace about a second or half a second a lap slower than the fastest I can drive. The reason is, when I drove as fast as I could during races, I would just spin off on my own. It's incredibly easy to spin off in this game. Well, that's actually quite realistic. I had a look on YouTube at some track day crash compilations. If you Google that on YouTube, you'll see some typical just spin-offs just like I do. But before moving on to the next second track, I'm going to show you the replay of that guy doing exactly that, having just a basic wee spin in the corner in front of us, and I almost lost position at this moment, but I managed to just hold it going up the start-finish straight. So I'm actually not the white car, I'm the car in front, but watch 2 cars in front of me. He just loses it slightly, loses it. Then I have to brake because I know he's coming back on, but he's a good driver. See the way he slammed on the brakes? A lot of the rookies in iRacing forget to slam on the brakes and hold the brakes down and they come back onto the track, but he stayed off. I was nervous about hitting him. Because of the system they have in iRacing. It's a very, very good system, and it's back to the live race now. They have a very good system of incidents, so you're allowed a maximum of 16. I think if you get 17 in a race you get disqualified. So if you put 2 tyres into the grass and half of your car is off the track, you get 1 instant point. If you spin and lose control, you can get, I think, about 2 instant points. If you touch another car, you can get up to 4. Both of you get up to 4 instant points. So it's a good attempt. It's not perfect, but it's a good attempt at keeping the racing honest. And it means that the community is quite active. Now, you still get some guys in Rookie who come in with that same Forza, Gran Turismo, even Grand Theft Auto attitude. But it soon gets rubbed off them because they go plummeting down the sort of the ranking order and they can't rank up their licenses. So I started off, when I signed up to iRacing, it was the Lime Rock track, which is a great track, but it's a tricky one to start on because it's one of those ones where all the corners link really well. It's basically, if you drop speed in any corner, your entire lap time comes down. I enjoyed it. There's one corner up the back of the track I found hard when I switched to a G27, because I started with an Xbox controller and now I've moved to the steering wheel. That used to throw me off. Then I did a couple of races in Laguna Seca, but then I went on holidays for a week, so I kind of was out of practice, and when I came back it had moved to this track, so it took me a little bit of time to learn the track. I'm not as fast. My qualification time is, I think, a low 59 or a high 58 second lap, something like that, so it's not particularly fast, but it's enough to throw me up on the grid. But what I do sometimes is I start from the back of the grid. I just don't go onto the grid at all. If I think, watching the practice, that it's a crowd of fools, then I avoid it if possible. Now, you'll see there's a bit of carnage up in front of me now. This almost ended my race. That guy, you'll see it in the replay. I'm going to show you the replay now. He should have stayed on the brakes. He should have looked in his mirror. He didn't. He panicked. He wanted to get his own race started again. Pardon me. And the guy behind me, look at this guy coming down the inside. Now, I had every right, I think, possibly wrong, to close the door on that guy, but we'll look at it in the replay. Right? He was dangerous there, I thought. So here comes the replay right now. So as you can see, it's that corner I was talking about earlier where the radius opens up. These two guys have come off the track together, and you see them there. They're coming back onto the track. It's getting messy. They hit each other again, and there he just moves, boom, and he clips me. Now, I don't know why, but I didn't get any incident points for that. I think the simulation knew that those two had had an accident and that anyone else was getting collected. I think his steering is badly damaged because he just zooms off to the right. But watch this guy dive down my inside now. Boom. Alright. I don't know about that, but I wouldn't. When I first started iRacing, I would have made that move. Right? I would have tried it. And the guy in my position probably would have turned in and we would have both gone off the track. What I've learnt with iRacing is that it's better to fight another day. Alright? It's better to pick your battles. So I let him. He seems a bit gung-ho. Someone who's gung-ho like that isn't going to stay on the track for the full amount of laps. So I know I can keep pace with him time-wise. I'm happy enough I can do that. But I just kind of watch and wait my time to see if he makes a mistake. So that's my plan there. So basically, just to go back over a little bit, what my experience of iRacing has been so far. I found it very difficult at the start. I just spun off like 3, 4, 5 times every single lap, until I got down that you have to just drive a bit like driving Miss Daisy for a while. Just get around the track. Really start slowly. It's a simulation. It's not a racing game. It's not forgiving. It's not meant to be. And then gradually increase the speed. I'd still spin off. I started to spin off maybe once a lap. Then I went on to the time trials. The time trials kind of force you. This is the guy in front of me. He spun off, but he managed to stay ahead of me. Again, I could maybe have pushed a bit harder here, but I said, no, look, I'll leave him the space. I think he's in third and I'm in fourth now. White car. So the black and green car is in third, white car in fourth, and I'm in... No, sorry, he's in third. I'm not sure here exactly. Well, there's about 5 laps left to go. Gradually then I did a time trial or two, and what that is basically is you have to do like 7-8 laps depending on the length of the track. You have to do 7 or 8 laps trying not to get a single instant point. So that's no spins, no wheels on the grass, no nothing. And what it does is it forces you to slow down. So instead of focusing on your lap times, you're focusing on your consistency, and that improved my my driving a huge amount. I've been making errors inside inside during races where there's one time I actually led a race. I don't lead this race at any stage, but I led a race. I was so excited. I was thinking to myself, all I got to do now is not crash, because I'm fast enough to stay ahead of the guys behind me. If I just keep the race in line, I don't think they'll get ahead of me. And I started to drift off. I didn't focus. I started to think, man, this is going to make a great YouTube video. I was like, I can't wait to tell my pals. I want to tell Natbud and K-Dot and Killer's Eye. I want to tell these guys I won a race. Got really excited. And I spun off. I spun off daydreaming about how amazing the video was going to be. And that's really what iRacing is about. You need 100% focus 100% of the time. Otherwise, you'll make a mistake. Just like the guy in front of me. So I bided my time. He made the mistake. And you see he's now in my rear view mirror. I have a problem with the rear view mirror, by the way. The cars seem like they're really far behind you when they're not. If you watch them in the replay, they're only like 3-4 car lengths behind you, but they look about 15 car lengths behind you in the rear view mirror, which is a little disconcerting. So this is me up into third place now. The red car is a back marker. Now this guy, watch this guy in the red car. He is a good driver. He, like me a few weeks ago, was slower than the main racers. So maybe he's had a spin or two, but he lets other people pass. He doesn't fight with other people, and he's racing his own race, or she, I'm not sure who it is. I try to do that as well. If I've had a bad start to a race, if I've lost out in the first corner, and or if I've had a spin and people are catching up, I now just let them pass. Oh, here's a replay of mine coming off. Oh, just carried too much speed into the corner, got his line all wrong. I laugh because I've done it on that corner so many times myself. Now, for the rest of the race then, basically nothing changes. I'm in third position now, and I managed to just hold it all together. I had a choice here, right? I could, first was miles ahead. If you look, I think, first is, I can't even see him on how many cars in front of me is. I mean, there's back markers 2 seconds ahead, there's back markers 16 seconds ahead. So the leader is even more than that ahead, so there's no point in worrying about winning this race. So my choice here is basically, do I push to try and nip second place, which the racer was like, yeah, go for it. Any little bits of indoor go-karting I've done, that kind of stuff. You just want to like chase them down and get past them. What I was thinking to myself, no, that's how I made all my mistakes in my early race, pushing too hard. I might be able to match him for pace. I might even get a lap or two when I'm faster than him, but I don't think I have the skill yet to come offline while he keeps the line, and take a corner quicker than him, outbrake him, things like that. Because he's racing, he's pretty solid, he's pretty consistent. He's not perfect, neither am I. So I made the decision to see if I could match him for lap speed. I kind of do, and then I back off and said, you know what, particularly on the last lap. I mean, I can't see exactly what lap. This is the second last, the 14th lap, 14 out of 15. So there's only 2 laps left. I'm kind of hoping in the back of my head that he gets tangled up with that back marker. So the white car, 2 cars ahead, is a back marker. And he might get tangled up trying to get past him. He might slow a bit, and I'll take my chance if he does. If he doesn't, I'm not going to get too involved with him at all. And as it happens, I think he gets past the back marker right at the end, but no problems. And I slow it right down in the final corner, make sure I don't spin off and cruise over the line. To get my first ever podium finish in iRacing. And I know that probably to anyone who's done a lot of iRacing, they're probably, that's so easy. But for someone who's just started, I think it's really good. Buying the wheel has definitely made a huge difference. I'll probably make a different video talking about the wheels separately. But it's more immersive, and your control of the car is better. I think you could still do really, really well on a Xbox controller. I mean, I managed to get some pretty quick lap times on my Xbox controller before I bought the wheel. And my problem is, though, it's in the finer moments. I was actually slower with the wheel when I got it, which annoyed me. I was like, oh my god, I just paid all this money for a wheel, I'm slower than my Xbox controller, until I sort of dialed into the wheel correctly. But you could definitely do well, finish highly, and maybe even win a race with an Xbox controller. I've no doubt about it. At rookie level, at this level. When you move up to the different classes, I doubt it, but definitely at rookie level. But I was impatient. I wanted to get myself the wheel. So there, he's going past the back marker there. Back markers, I don't know, did he slip off the track there or not, or did he just let him past? But he's come off. So now the only potential problem for me here is that I could end up crashing into the back of this back marker, not careful. So I just back right off and let him win. So guys, that's been my first iRacing video. I'm going to make a few more. I'd love if you leave a comment telling me what you like about the style of the video, me talking over it, putting in the replays. I probably had too many at the start, I know that. I think I had like 4 replays at the start. Or would you prefer to see it unhindered? Would you prefer me not to be commentating? Let me know what you think. That's been my first race. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for, if you watched this far, fair play. Alright, take care guys, have a great day, bye.